Breaking news reveals that the Legaina brothers have unearthed a discovery that made them shudder, abruptly ending their once buzzing dig. The terrifying mystery they concealed might never be accepted by the world. The History Channel's popular reality series The Curse of Oak Island has come under fire recently following the discovery of centuries-old indigenous artifacts, prompting local officials to shut down a large portion of the show's dig operation, causing several archaeologists to leave. Fans speculate whether the Legainas and their crew will return to normal operations and what the future holds for Oak Island. During the final dig, the Legaina brothers and their crew unearthed a bizarre find, halting excavation. While they had mostly found mud, wood, and metal implements on the 140-acre island, they had also discovered rare artifacts. What exactly are these insane discoveries made during the final excavation? In Oak Island's whimsical realm, another challenge emerged as the Canadian government intervened to prevent further digging. The objective was to find underground entrances to what they believed could be riches, but bureaucracy stood in the way. The crew discovered a potential hidden room next to the garden shaft. Doug engaged Duma Contracting Limited to excavate down to these possible chambers. Pathways to hidden treasure seemed within reach, with the crew possibly uncovering a network of tunnels and chambers. Additionally, they believed one artifact was of Viking origin, much older than anticipated. However, the Canadian government required a mining warrant, complicating the dig. Some fans supported the government, pointing out the dangers of blindly rebuilding wooden shafts where 6 treasure hunters had already perished. The government's interference was not new. In 2021, they halted a significant portion of excavation work after the discovery of 100-year-old indigenous artifacts, including First Nation MCM pottery fragments. The Legainas switched from conventional archaeology to unconventional digging tactics, mapping out underground locations with modern technology. Yet, the excavation still led to disputes with authorities. In Season 10, Episode 25, discoveries connected various pieces, raising hopes of finding the lost fortune. The crew searched Lot 5 and the triangle-shaped marsh, linking the two areas. Meanwhile, Charles volunteered to descend the 82-foot shaft after specialized training, observing the garden shaft's dropping corner. In Italy, Alex, Rick, and Peter consulted Umberto Musa, who examined Roman and Byzantine coins, suggesting Oak Island's ties to the Roman Empire. Drilling at Lot 5 revealed ceramic shards, charcoal fragments, and what could be a lead cross made in France, hinting at French involvement in the Oak Island enigma. A probing drill beneath the garden shaft uncovered wood, potentially evidence of a tunnel. Metal detector specialist Gary Drayton found iron spikes dating to the 1700s, possibly from Smith's Cove flood tunnel builders. Later, geophysicist Jeremy Church's seismic data revealed an anomaly at 60 feet near the cave-in pit, resembling the Smith's Cove flood tunnel. GPR specialists Steve Watson and Don Johnston had previously detected subterranean anomalies at depths of 82 and 91 feet, with sand layers between 99 and 109 feet. Despite these discoveries, the mystery of Oak Island remains unsolved, continuing to captivate tourists following in the pioneers' footsteps. By exploring the Money Pit's depths and taking in the incredible find that permanently altered the course of history, the island serves as a reminder that there are still mysteries to be solved, secrets to be revealed, and treasures hiding in the most unlikely locations. Click on the video links. The enthralling tale of persistent search culminates in a horrible final excavation that rewrites history and challenges the human imagination. Prepare to be astounded because reality is more magnificent than your wildest dreams. It's the Legaina brothers again. During the final phase of excavation at Oak Island, they made a terrible discovery with their crew on the 140 acres of the supposedly cursed Oak Island. The Legaina brothers and metal detector expert Gary Drayton have primarily discovered clay, wood, and metal implements, but they have also discovered a number of rare artifacts. But what precisely are these insanity-inducing discoveries they made during the final Oak Island excavation? As we unearth each piece of treasure discovered in the final section of The Curse of Oak Island, the truth becomes apparent. When the excavation reached a depth of 190 feet, a subterranean vault that had been concealed for a long time was discovered. There was an overwhelming sense of surprise and disbelief. The group cautiously entered the room as their pulses raced in anticipation. Inside its dimly lit confines, they witnessed an extraordinary sight. In front of them was a glittering tableau of extraordinary wealth comprised of piles of gold and silver coins, antique artifacts, and priceless diamonds. The treasure was quickly estimated to be worth billions, making it one of the most significant discoveries in history. The artifacts disclosed a rich history connecting Oak Island to antiquity and validating long-debated hypotheses. As news of the discovery spread like wildfire, it attracted the attention of historians, archaeologists, and treasure hunters all over the globe. As specialists dedicated their time to discovering the treasure's origins and legends, Oak Island became the focal point of the investigation. The Legaina brothers have spent their entire 9-season tenure searching for treasures buried on the island by the Knights Templar, British soldiers, or even Spanish pirates. In the Season 1 finale of The Curse of Oak Island, titled The Find, metal detectorist Steve Zielik discovered an 8-inscribed coin while investigating a swamp. Later, it was determined that it was a copper Spanish 8 Maravedi coin from the 17th century. In the Season 2 premiere, One in Forever, the coin was cleansed and examined, revealing that 1652 was inscribed on the reverse. Additional examination of the coin revealed that it had been lost in the marsh for hundreds of years and was not a recently deposited object. All indications pointed to the fact that this was a legitimate historical discovery, the first of many throughout the program. Could this inconspicuous copper coin be evidence of previously undiscovered pirate treasure? The Legaina brothers appeared to be on the right track in their search for Oak Island's concealed wealth. In the second episode of the second season, Return to the Money Pit, treasure hunter Gary Drayton discovered not one but 2 distinctive treasures while metal detecting. He made his first discovery near Oak Island shore. Drayton and his associates discovered a button from a 17th-century military officer's uniform, although it is unknown to which military it belonged. However, it could be evidence that the military was responsible for some of the confidential information on the island. In the interim, Drayton and his companions discovered their second find of the day in a nearby forest. A small coin that appeared to be a 17th-century Maravedi similar to the one discovered in the season finale of the previous year, was concealed in the soil. Compared to other coins, however, this one was substantially smaller, perhaps the size of 2 mares as opposed to 8. Even though they are small, these incredible discoveries may point to a larger treasure hidden on Oak Island. In the third episode of the second season, The 8-Pointed Star, Gary made 2 astounding scientific discoveries. This time, Drayton and his companions discovered 2 17th-century King Charles II Britannia coins buried beneath the pebbles and parites strewn along the coastline. One of the coins clearly displayed the year 1771 on its surface, indicating that they were centuries ancient. Where did these 17th-century coins originate? They may have been abandoned by treasure hunters in a hurry, or more fervently, could they have been abandoned on Oak Island by a wealthy gang that came there to conceal their loot? Undoubtedly, the Oak Island team would need to conduct additional investigation. Diver and treasure hunter Tony Sampson cleaned the coin and observed what appeared to be a cross pattern on one side. This peculiar cross may be the emblem of the Knights Templar, who established one of the earliest global financial systems in the 13th century. Could this coin have been used for finance by the Knights Templar? Who can say? What initially appeared to be the discovery of a small Spanish Maravedi coin may, in fact, be a crucial clue leading to a large amount of Knights Templar treasure concealed on Oak Island. In Circles in Wood, the 6th episode of the 4th season, Gary Drayton, along with associate producers and fellow treasure hunters Jack Begley and Alex Legaina, conduct metal detecting on land formerly owned by former slave-turned-caduceus farmer Samuel Ball. Drayton and his companions initially uncovered a piece of chain buried in the ground, but as they continued their investigation, they eventually uncovered a small copper and bronze ring. They persevered, confident that they were on the correct track, and uncovered a coin that could be hundreds of years old. Samuel Ball, one of the wealthiest residents of Oak Island, owned 36 acres of the island. Did cabbage cultivation contribute to this wealth, or maybe Ball discovered a treasure? These discoveries could represent a minor portion of the Oak Island treasure. Gary Drayton, a metal detecting specialist, and Charles Burkhouse, an Oak Island historian, continue their investigation of Samuel Ball's property in Season 4, Episode 8, The Mystery of Samuel Ball, where they make a number of intriguing discoveries. The first item that Drayton and Burkhouse discover is a gentleman button commonly found on 1700s clothing. They soon unearthed numerous King George II coins from the 18th century as well as a lead ingot used to create musket balls. Drayton hypothesizes that these artifacts are the remnants of a military camp. After uncovering what appears to be an engraved metal tag from the bottom of a handgun, were these campers from the 18th century searching for forgotten wealth or abandoning it in the 1700s? The only thing that can be said with absolute certainty is that Oak Island was extremely active. In Blood is Thicker, Episode 15 of Season 4 of The Curse of Oak Island, Gary employs a metal detector to examine the objects Rick and Marty Legaina had unearthed at the Gal 1 excavation site. They initially assume it to be a coin, but quickly realize that the word plated is engraved on it. Dr. Laurie Vanderland, an expert in antique valuation, examined this spherical object and concluded that it was most likely a gold-plated button from a 17th or 18th century British military uniform. When the Legaina brothers discover a large metal hinge with drill marks in the same location, this becomes considerably more plausible. Dr. Vanderland examined it and concluded that it was from the same time period. Even more intriguing is the fact that it was frequently used as a hinge on treasure chests. Even if it originated from a ship that used the hinge for a different purpose, it is still a very intriguing discovery because it raises the question of what lies beneath Oak Island.